Here, 40, 41, let me think, 40. It's been 40 years ago when I went through the state of Iowa where, God bless her heart, Molly Tibbetts went missing. And as we drove through Iowa, headed to Wyoming, Yellowstone National Park, but as we drove through Iowa, the impression I got of Iowa, I was 15 years old, and I remember it very well, 1978. But as we was driving through Iowa, it's a beautiful state, 10-foot tall corn, but it is a creepiness to it. And the first impression you get of it, of the state, as we're driving through, is it's a serial killer's paradise. It just like I remember. I watch videos on YouTube now. In 40 years, 40, it hasn't changed a bit. Still isolated. Oh, you might have a new house here and there that's popped up. But a lot of those old farms, they've never sold. Sorry for the noise. A lot of those farmers, they have large farms, and they've never sold them because it stayed in the family. So you got all these farms that's been in the same family for generations. So since there's nothing been sold, there's no new homes being built. It just is isolated as it was 40 years ago, 1978. Now, on a bicycle, I got to be careful because once in a while here in Ohio, I ride through some isolated. If I'm going to a yard sale, I might ride into an isolated area. And I got to be careful here. But out there, I would have to be 10 times more careful. It's 10 times more isolated in Iowa than it is here in Ohio. It can be dangerous out there. You're on your own out there. Poor like Molly Tibbetts, she told that killer that she's going to call the law. Well, out there, it'd take them an hour to get to you. That's where she made her mistake. She should have just ran. As poor Molly Tibbetts, as soon as she detected he was up to no good, she just should have just run. Don't worry about grabbing her phone. Don't worry about threatening with police. Because he already knew that wasn't going to happen. He knew she would call, but as far as, unless a policeman would have been right there, close. But he knew that, no, so it wouldn't have done her no good of threatening with law, police. But she should not have grabbed her phone. She should have just ran. Poor thing. But anyway, back to 1978. Yeah, that's Iowa's a beautiful state. I loved going through there, but it's got this creepiness to it. You break down, you're on your own. You really are. As they say, beautiful but cruel. Cruel